Today's situation is that there is a mufti in Kiev, at the main mosque in Kiev. They have about 400, 500 Muslim congregations around Ukraine, with about 200 mosques which are formally designated as mosques and about 100 more under construction. A great Islamic revival going on there. The policy of the muftis is to send the imams to study in Jordan and Lebanon. There used to be a Ukraine Islamic University at the Achat Jami Mosque, which is in Donetsk. That's in one of the breakaway Russian separatist republics in the east. Part of the problem today, or in post-independence Ukraine, has been that the big concentrations of indigenous Ukrainian Muslims have been in the areas that have been annexed by the Russian Federation. Crimea, where Muslims were about 15% of the population. Of course, once it was 90%, 15%. And also in Donetsk, and where the university is, and also in Luhansk, where there is a big Tatar Muslim community. Tatars have a lot of Greek blood, a lot of German blood, a lot of Slavic blood. They're a very kind of ethnically interesting community. They don't look like Mongols any longer, for the most part, but there's a big cathedral mosque in Luhansk. And there's also a famous mosque in Kharkiv, one of the biggest and most popular in Ukraine, which has been, according to reports, slightly damaged in the recent bombardments. It was demolished by the communists in the 1930s because they said it was getting in the way of the river in Kharkiv, which was a complete absurdity. But it was rebuilt by the Muslim community there in the 1990s. In Kiev you have the main mosque, which is where the mufti resides. You have the Rahma mosque and a number of other purpose-built mosques, which are quite beautiful, some of them. And in Mariupol, which is now under siege, of course, you have famous Imam Ismail, who is there right now, Ismail Hajioglu, at the Suleymania Mosque. Mariupol, anciently in a Muslim area, but this is a relatively new mosque constructed with money from a Turkish businessman who works in Ukraine a lot. There was a report just 4 days ago that the mosque had been shelled and damaged, but the Imam has got a message out saying that it doesn't seem to be the case. And it's interesting, Muslims there will tell you that, of course, it's called the Suleymania Mosque because Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent of the Ottoman Empire, who ruled southern Ukraine, was married to his favourite wife, Khasiki Khurram Sultan, who's buried next to him if you go to the Suleymania Mosque in Istanbul. And she was actually a Ukrainian, famously beautiful and really influential, built a number of famous mosques in Istanbul. So that's another connection. So where this will end, we don't know. But the Muslim community there has been very active in the current disputes, even though always it's caught between two fires, just as during the Second World War, caught between the Nazi nightmare and the communist nightmare, just like Jewish communities in many ways, but without any kind of real external support or interest. And we just have to hope and pray for a just resolution, really for all ethnicities in this conflict, and that everybody receives assurances of security, of stability, that the mosques can be rebuilt, that the community can continue to go on making a major contribution as it has done in the past. Muslims no longer are Ukraine the way they used to be, even though they always tolerated churches and the ancient monasteries there. But it's still a significant population with very deep local roots. And for those who are interested in the amazing history of Islam in Europe, one of the great hero stories, I would say, unlike Spain, where everything was wiped out, in the Ukraine, Muslim communities continue to exist under very difficult circumstances to the present day. So we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease the sufferings of the people of Ukraine and of the people of the wider region, and inshallah to bring about justice and freedom and equality, and inshallah good outcome for everybody in the region, inshallah.